Hello everyone, Jackie Edwards here. Hello. Got a different background behind me. It almost doesn't even look real, but it is real. You can even see like the little bit of a reflection on the glass from the light. So we are redoing up a house right now. So I'm going to be in all kinds of different places as we do a bit of renovation. So anyways, this is the nicest view from here right now out into the beautiful outdoor area. So today I want to talk about making a commitment to yourself. And it's something that I think we really need to practice because that is where all of our kind of self love and like true self care really comes from. It's from really making and keeping a commitment with ourselves. And I think, especially as bigger women who've like gone on 8 bajillion diets and like quit or failed every one of them, we get it in our mind that like we don't keep commitments to ourselves. And we might not think of it that way, but like that's what our subconscious brain thinks. It's like, she says she's going to do this, but we know she's just going to give up anyways. And for us, we can feel it as like it's almost like a futile feeling. So again, it's like we think deep down in our hearts, we're like, well, you know, this is just one more diet that I'm going to fail, so I'll give it a try until I get bored, just like always. Or, you know, one more exercise program that I'm never going to stick with, and one more, you know, cooking class that I'm never going to stick with, or one more language I'm going to learn that I'm never going to stick with. And a lot of that program even comes from childhood. It's like, oh, you know, quitters never win. So, you know, we're taught, well, you have to like, if you pick like this sport or this dance class or this art class, like you have to stick with it no matter what. And like we might start and realize, oh, actually, I don't really enjoy this, but we're not allowed to quit because quitters never win. So then we just end up with like this deep feeling in ourselves that like we're unworthy, that we never stick with what we started, even if we actually stick with it. And then, you know, we go through the whole art class or the whole dance class until the end, and then we just don't renew the next time. We still feel like quitters. And that programming all just gets burned into our brain, and that feeling of unworthiness. So, a lot of what I've been working on for years is kind of rewriting those patterns and making commitments to myself that I can actually stick with, and understanding that like it's okay to quit things. It's okay to try things and not like them and try something else. It's okay to do whatever, whenever. I wonder if it's because the angle of this is funny. I don't know. Does it look more real? It just looks so fake back there. Maybe it's because of the lighting on me. It just makes me so like anyways. So keeping that commitment to ourselves. So for those of you just listening on the audio that can't see me, you probably won't see what I'm talking about, but it just looks very surreal. So what I've been working on is like making those commitments to myself and really understanding what it looks like to like keep that commitment. It's not just like I'm going to do this and never stop doing this, but I'm going to make this commitment to myself. This is what its purpose is. This is what I want to get out of it. And this is where we'll see how it goes. And it just frees things up so much to like learn and explore, because I might make a commitment to myself that, so I think I've got plantar fasciitis. So I might make a commitment to myself that I'm going to like heal it within the next year. And that's a great commitment. But if I think, okay, I'm going to heal it within the next year, so I'm going to like go gung ho. And every day I'm going to do like 5 hours of exercises. I'm going to soak my feet in ice water, you know, 6 times a day, and then heat 7 times a day. And I'm going to sleep with my legs raised all the time so that blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm not going to be able to keep those commitments to myself because that's like too extreme, especially to start off with. Like maybe by the end of a year or 5 years, like that's what I would do every day if this was like truly my soul's purpose commitment. And I think lots of times then we see that as failure. We're like, oh, wow, I haven't been able to do that for a week. And even though I've still got, you know, 51 weeks left of my commitment to heal my plantar fasciitis, I'm just going to give up because it's not going to work anyways, and fuck it. And then we just see that pattern over and over again. Whereas if I just think, I'm going to make a commitment, or another example, I'm going to make a commitment to like love myself, to feel confident. And I know I'm not going to feel confident every single time I step out my door in every single thing that I wear. And I'm not going to instantly be able to go out and like wear a bikini the first time I say, yes, I'm going to be confident. I might not be able to do that. I might not be able to instantly start wearing crop tops. I might not instantly be able to go up and talk to any stranger I meet. But I can really understand what that commitment is to being more confident. Like, what does that actually look like? Like, how do I want that to look in my life? And it might look completely different from everybody else's. Or what does my commitment to, my health and well-being look like for me? Which might look completely different than what it does for everybody else. So maybe everybody else in the world, their commitment to health and wellness means that they, weigh their BMI is the correct BMI, or their weight is the correct weight for their height. Whereas maybe my commitment to health is that I, go to the doctor and my blood work is all clear, or whatever it might be. But it's really understanding that personalized. So it might not have anything to do with my size or my shape. It might be completely dependent on whatever personal things I'm working on at this moment, and whatever health looks like to me, whatever self-love looks like to me, whatever confidence looks like to me. So we can start making those commitments and making them really personalized, because then we have room for growth and flexibility. So again, if I tell myself like, I am going to feel confident wearing anything, like that is my ultimate goal. So again, today I might not be confident wearing a crop top or a bikini or whatever I want every time I walk out the door. I might still only wear certain shapes that I think suit me. But if I know that I don't have to be perfect right now for like my purpose to be confident, for my commitment to myself that, I'm going to be confident, I can work on that confidence over the rest of my life, the next year, whatever. So maybe sometimes I go out and I'm like, no, I'm still going to wear my big hoodie. Other times I'm going to go out and be like, maybe I can wear this something different. And then I'll go out and be like, ooh, that felt really bad, really uncomfortable. That doesn't mean I instantly failed and I'll never be confident. It just means, I've just got to adjust and work at it. So maybe I never wear that shirt again. But that's not quitting and failing and being confident. Maybe I'm like, I should learn how to talk to strangers and like network more and be more friendly. God, that's super hard for me. Like, it makes me nervous. But maybe some days I do it, some days I don't. And I learn from it every time. And it's growth. And we see how it goes. And we can start again to like wiggle loose those patterns in our brain that tell us it's all or nothing. You're either all confident 100% of the time, you're all self-love 100% of the time, you're all taking that dance lesson 100% of the time, or it's nothing. Like you've broken all your commitments, you can't keep your word, you're lazy and horrible, and all those other things that we tell ourselves. Like we just can't stick with things. The most important thing, I think, is really choosing what we're committing to and what the ultimate purpose of it all is, and making sure that our commitments are really in line with what we truly want, not what society thinks we should have, what we've been taught to want and need, and how we've been taught to do things, but to really look internally and say, what am I trying to get to? What is my purpose? And as we grow into that purpose, things will change and shift along the way. We'll be able to quit things with ease because we'll be like, actually, I've tried this and it's actually not in line with my purpose. Let's move on to the next thing. I've tried this. Nope, not quite there yet. And we keep course correcting. Because if we think we're going to get the perfect thing from day one, that's going to get us to be committed perfectly 100% of the time, we're going to fail every single time. But I think that's what we've been taught in school. Like, you have to be perfect. There's a right answer, there's a wrong answer. If you don't find the right answer, then you failed and it's not worth trying anymore. Whereas really in life, it's almost all about failing. Like, you're never going to find any solutions unless you've failed and failed and failed and failed. Because if you just fail and quit and then just move on to something different, then you haven't learned and grown. But if we've got our kind of growth, we've got our commitment, we've got like our purpose, and we're like, let me try this. Let me try this dance lesson. Nope, that's no fun. I'll quit that one. Let's try this other one. Maybe I'll try ceramics class. Nope, that didn't work. Maybe I'll try this other thing. It's not quitting when it's just we try something that doesn't work to get us to where we want to go. Life isn't like a classroom. It's not like school where you fail and you get a bad grade and that's the end of it. You never have to think about it again. It's so much more fun and so much more freeing if we can just try whatever the hell we want anytime we want. So stop thinking of all those past diet failures and being like, oh, it just means I can never commit to anything. I can never stick with anything. I'm lazy. All those exercise programs you quit, they weren't quitting. They were just helping you find the right place for you, helping you find what your true soul's purpose is. And I think part of the purpose of life is to just find that, is to constantly be trying those new things, new ways to, find what our own true purpose is. And we're never going to find it if we just tell ourselves that we can't commit to anything. Or if we tell ourselves it can only be A or B. It can be like 8 bajillion different things in between. And the more of them we try, the more things we will know either work or don't work. And maybe sometimes this one works a little bit, and then this one works a little bit, and then we can create something new and beautiful in between. So like, oh, what if I really love dance class and I really love painting? But I don't want to only do dance class and I don't want to only do painting. So what if there's some way to like combine it? And that's when fucking change happens, and we just create magic, and new things are born, and new pathways are born in our brain so that we can do anything. All right, I'm gonna stop rambling right now because that was just fun, and I've got loads to do. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you again soon.